Good morning. Welcome back to Planet Doug. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning, Sunday morning now, and I'm heading off on a little bit of a small but perhaps risky adventure. I say it's risky because it depends on the weather, and right now it's actually raining here. And I've delayed this little adventure a couple of mornings already because it's always been raining. But then I'm hoping that the weather will clear up by the time I get there. And where I'm going is a place called Bukit Dinding, which is a hill here in Kuala Lumpur that's filled with hiking trails. And I just sort of stumbled across this place recently when I was doing some research about Kuala Lumpur and Malaysia in general. And I was reading about Bukit Dinding. Sounded fascinating. They call it perhaps the last remaining green lung of Kuala Lumpur, meaning it's like a pocket of dense trees and bush and whatever, a green lung for the city, hemmed in on all sides by urban development and the giant buildings going up all around. And in fact, the other day I went to look at the place from the outside. I had brunch with some friends of mine, and we happened to be near Bukit Dinding. And my friend suggested, hey, we're close, let's go just take a look at the place. So we drove there and went to I guess what I would call the trailhead, the place where a lot of the trails start from. Didn't go into the park at all, didn't go hiking on any of the trails, but at least now I know where it is, and I have a small sense of what it's all about. So that's where I'm going. Going to go for a hike. It's not a huge area. I think it's like 300 acres, but the trails are supposed to be quite steep in places, which is why the rain is a bit of a concern because it could be quite slippery. You've got to get up sections by holding onto ropes, things like that. And I don't want the trails to be overly muddy, but at the same time, I'm hoping that when I get to the top, it's not a huge mountain or anything. I think the highest peak, the lookout point, is 291 meters high. But from up there, you can actually see the skyline of Kuala Lumpur all the way downtown, all the big skyscrapers that are here. So I'm hoping to climb to the top, of course, 291 meters, and then I'm hoping to get a nice view of the city from up there. And if the sky is filled with clouds, then I won't get the views. And if it's still raining when I get there, the trails could be muddy and slippery. So not quite sure how this is going to work out. As far as I know, the trains start running out of this station at 6, so I should be able to get a train pretty quickly, and I'll get out there. It takes about 40 minutes on the train, and then another 1.5 kilometers to walk through the city streets to get to the trailhead, so maybe an hour and a half to get to the start of the trails. And then I can show you the map of Bukit Dinding, what it looks like, and on all the various trails. I should probably save all of my info about this place for when I get there, but I've got time right now, so I thought I might as well keep talking while I'm here waiting for the train. So this area, as I said, is a hill, very, very steep sides. There's a lot of hiking trails, but there's also a lot of mountain biking trails. And there's actually mountain biking events that happen there every year, like those super fast, exciting, like downhill mountain biking competitions. So it's that kind of place. And 300 acres, as I said, 291 meters. And that whole area was first developed for tin mining, of course. So you got a lot of tin mining in the Kuala Lumpur area, and there was tin mining around Bukit Dinding. I don't think there were any mines dug into it itself, but around it, it was developed for tin mining. My train is here. arrived already in Sri Rampai Station. I didn't talk on the LRT at all. The train was had a lot more people on it than I expected when we started off at Masjid Jamek. And yeah, I didn't want to bother people with this early in the morning with my babbling. This is the Sri Rampai LRT station. I think it has like a red-orange roof. Came here by car once before. My friends dropped me off here after we went to check out the trailhead. And yeah, I was kind of startled by the area because I was expecting a pristine sort of wilderness with hiking trails. And I guess that's what Bukit Dinding is, but it is now surrounded by the city. You can see these giant buildings all around me. This one here is, yeah, they're all lit up, the stairwells, I guess, parking districts. But yeah, landed giants, Kuala Lumpur. And that ties in with the history of the place because way back in the 1800s, as I said, this area was a tin mining district. And then it developed into a set of rubber plantations. And one rubber plantation in particular, the name keeps coming up, something called Hawthornden, I think, a giant rubber plantation. So this whole area would have been villages, farming areas, kampong, and tin mining and rubber plantations. We'd be surrounded by all of that right now, back then, which is kind of interesting. And that affects Bukit Dinding because, as far as I know, all of the original growth was cut down. So what we're going to see today on the hike, I think if you just went there on your own and just started hiking through it, you think, wow, look at this virgin forest, virgin jungle. But in fact, it's all secondary growth. So the hill was more or less stripped bare. And then all of this, what we're going to see now, has regrown since then, which is kind of interesting. And Bukit Dinding is related to other parts of Malaysian history. A major battle took place right here. And it was also involved in, whoa, a train is so loud. Wow, I don't know if you could hear that on the microphone, but I could hardly hear my own voice when the train goes by. Yeah, there's all these apartment buildings. But yeah, the emergency played a role in this area. And in fact, there was a Hollywood movie that was set in the emergency, and it was set and shot here at Bukit Dinding. The movie, I think, was called The Seventh Dawn. I haven't watched the whole movie, but I found it on YouTube, starring William Holden. Came out in 1964. And yeah, kind of a adventure drama story, but set in the events of the emergency. And again, it was filmed right here at Bukit Dinding. And there was even a P. Ramlee movie was shot here as well, called, oh boy, Bapak? Like, I think that translates as father's son. Quite a famous P. Ramlee movie. And it was set on a rubber plantation. And as far as I know, it was set here in the Bukit Dinding area, and it was shot here as well. So I think it's on YouTube as well. So you can actually see the rubber plantation history of this area in these two movies, and the history of the emergency. Yeah, this whole area just ties in with Malaysia's history quite nicely. So that also makes it an interesting place to visit, in addition to the hiking itself, which is why I decided to come out here. Yeah, I think there's like 8 or 9, 10 different hiking trails, all interconnecting, and I'm not entirely sure which one I'll be taking. I think I'm going to be going up on the Kazumi trail. I think there are a set of 3 trails called Kazumi, and they're named after a local woman who developed, or who had a big hand in developing the trails here. I don't know her full name, but one of her names, I believe, is Kazumi, and she did a lot of hiking through here, and I think the Kazumi trail that I'll be taking, she built it or created it, however you make a trail, and they named it after her, Kazumi. Well, check it out. We're just about there, right at the corner where you see that white van, where you might be able to see that white van. The door open, that's the trailhead, and I see, 4 or 5 people all decked out in hiking gear. So, yeah. And, I guess that's where we're heading, right up there. And there's another trail. I may change my mind and do that one. I think it's called Mini Tahan, or Mini Tahun, and I think it's the longest trail, and it goes around in a long circle, and it might be the toughest and the longest, I'm not sure. But I don't know, there's something about the name Kazumi that jumps out at me, so I think I'm going to do the Kazumi. Yeah, those people up ahead look like hardcore hikers. I hope I'm not underprepared, because I'm not decked out for hiking. I'm dressed the same way I would be dressed if I were walking around Bukit Dinding. I don't know how bright this is, probably not very bright at all, but this is the trailhead map. And maybe I'll wait here until the sun comes up a bit more. But the red circle is where I am. And this orange one, I think that's the Kazumi Trail. Goes up to the lookout point. And I'm assuming I can go back down maybe the red and the blue and do a loop that way. This yellow one here, I think that's the Mini Tahun. Goes around, and you can see. So it's the sort of place you probably come back to 2 or 3 times. You don't do all the trails in one day. And I think this over here is the road that goes up to the communications, maybe this purple one. So there's another entrance over here, and I guess one over here. But this seems to be the main hiking entrance. At least on Google Maps, it's marked as the entrance to the Bukit Dinding hiking trails. Slowly getting brighter. Yeah, a lot more people here than I expected. I've counted 25 right now, and some of them are really well equipped. I mean, one guy I just saw go up, he had a big backpack. He probably had 10, 15 kilograms of gear. I don't know what he could be carrying, but a lot of people here have good hiking boots and walking sticks and rain gear and who knows what all. And but I was just looking at the map as it's getting brighter, and there's this, which is interesting. If you scan that code, you get a really nice layout, a map of all the trails. And I've noticed that there is some coding here. So this is the Mini Tahan, the yellow, number 7, 7.2 kilometers, goes up to 239 meters. But you can see it has 5 black boxes, which means I think it's the most difficult. And then you see this one has 4 white boxes. Kazumi Santai, number 5, has 2 white boxes. The red one, 2. Pandan has 1, so that would be the easiest trail, I'm assuming. And then the one I'm starting on, I think, is this one, Kazumi Otai, and it has 4 white boxes. So I think those are like the difficulty ratings. So I'm still here waiting at the entrance to Bukit Dinding, waiting for it to get a bit lighter before I head in. And the large groups have gone in already, but there are some people out here that are waiting to head in. And can you introduce yourself to the Planet Doug viewers?
Hi, Planet Doug viewers. My name is Tiara, and I live in KL, or Talingjaya. So, yeah, and I hike once in a while.
I wouldn't say once in a while. I mean, look at you. You look so prepared.
Yeah, I like hiking.
Yeah, you've got all the gear.
I've got the gear. Just my poles, because you don't need poles here.
You don't need poles here.
Yeah.
Are you ready for rain?
No.
Yeah, that's
I normally wouldn't hike here if it rains, but I was already on the way and then it started raining on the highway. I thought, never mind,
okay.
I'll just come across anyways.
So, what makes Bukit Dinding a good place to go? What makes it special?
There's a waterfall inside.
Waterfall?
There's a waterfall that's pretty. It's challenging. So, Bukit means hill in
Right.
Malay, but you can do enough up hills and up and downs here to get a good enough elevation. So it's a good training ground. There's also ropes.
Ropes?
So the ropes are fun. I mean, I find them fun. Some people don't like them,
Okay.
but I like them because it's a different spin to a normal hike. Yeah, so it's not just a flat walk. It's quite steep,
I see.
and then the ropes make it challenging. Yeah.
Which ones have you done before? Which trails?
Oh, I follow my friend. He
Ah,
takes me
okay.
to most. I think he's taking me to all.
All of them. Okay.
Yeah, he's
He
taking me
mentioned
to
you're doing the yellow one today, which is
Yeah.
mini tahan.
Tahan.
What does that mean in English? Do you know mini
all.
tahan?
Mini is small.
Small,
It's the
okay.
English word. Tahan means to hold on
Ah.
but there is a mountain in Malaysia called Gunung Tahan. So Gunung Tahan is one of the G7 mountains, and it's an overnighter. It's steep and it's fairly difficult. It's deemed as fairly challenging. So this one is steep, like that, right? So it's that's why they call it Mini Tahan,
Okay.
because it's a little version of the mountain itself, I suppose. I've not done the mountain itself. Yeah.
Would you recommend this as a place for foreign visitors to come, like a tourist?
If you're familiar with hiking, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're fit, yeah. If you're not so fit, no, I wouldn't recommend to anybody if you're not so fit. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What about entrances? I'm a little confused about that. This entrance is almost hidden. It's like a secret.
Yeah.
Is there another bigger gateway, an entrance with a park office, things like that?
No.
No.
But there is another entrance on the other side.
Okay.
So if you go up, I think most of these trails will lead you to the tarred road. So a lot of people will start from the tarred road, and that's a good workout area as well. It's quite steep,
I see.
and that's good for beginners because you wouldn't get lost or anything. It's just the tarred road, but it's super steep.
I
So
see.
it's a good training ground. But no
Okay.
guards, no sign-ins, nothing.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks,
It
Doug.
was a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
And maybe else. I'm not doing the yellow trail today. I'm doing the orange Kazumi, I think.
Yeah,
A little bit shorter.
probably not as steep.
Yeah.
And maybe not as many ropes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there's more on the Tahan trail? More ropes?
It's steep and there are some ropes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember which one is more. First time I went to had a lot. But
All right.
yeah.
Well, good luck. Have a good day.
You too. Have fun. Be
Okay.
safe. All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Time to head in. Probably making all of this out to be a much bigger deal than it actually is. The trail that I'm on is like 1 kilometer long to get to the top and things like that. It's, you're right in the middle of a city. I'm not heading out into terrifying wilderness or anything. But this is kind of interesting. I noticed this when we came to do some reconnaissance. There's some shoes left behind. Kind of reminds me of a Thai Pusam with all the shoes left behind. But I think these were all just sort of worn out, so people just decided not to take them home. They left them as,
Oh my God.
yeah, trophies or souvenirs from the trail.
That's new.
I thought maybe it was a Malaysian tradition.
No, it's not. It's not.
Not. Okay, let's head in. Kazumi Trail. So this is the orange one. And then right from here, the trail splits right away. Clearly marked, which is nice. The mini Tahan. Yeah, the rain adds another element. Just looking at that trail there. Somehow I thought since it goes around in a long circle, I thought that would be the easier trail. But everyone's telling me, no, that's the more difficult one. And right out of the gate, that the man in the lead was going up a very steep climb and slippery, like muddy, slippery. So, yeah, let's go. So what I'm looking forward to are the ropes. the ropes for climbing up the cliffs. But yeah, it's very muddy, which I wasn't really anticipating. Very wet in here. So I said it has a history for providing water for the city, like water reservoirs. But the trail, yeah, is full of puddles and mud right now. So, okay, look at this. That's amazing, though. I've gone, what, just a few meters off the road, and you've got a waterfall like this. Looks like it could be on the front cover of the tourism magazine. Look at that. Beautiful. The first ascent with a rope. Not going straight up, but it looks very, very slippery. Yeah. This is definitely steeper than I expected right out of the gate. Yeah, this rope is kind of essential. And a kind soul put knots on the rope. I never would have thought of that, but right away, the knots are very, very helpful. Partway up the first climb here. This is the rope that has all the knots on it that I mentioned. Yeah, nice little waterfall down there. Nothing huge, but yeah, very beautiful. And then here's the muddy trail ahead. So far, at least, it's not really slippery. I don't know, this is a clay, and I don't know, the clay is really gripping my sandals, so that's kind of nice. It's not like I'm slipping backwards all the time. Seem to be getting a really good grip. Huh, I thought it'd be really slippery. Though those could be famous last words. If you find me slipping and sliding all over the place all of a sudden, remind me that I just said it's not slippery at all. And I've been passed by 8 or 9 more people head on their way to the top. And 2 people just passed me coming back down that I spoke to earlier. And I said to them, wow, you're fast. You already got up to the top and back again. And they said, no, they just gave up. They turned around. They said it was too steep. So that's where I just came up. Some other people right behind me. And the trail goes on like this. Making a lot of progress very quickly. That's always a good thing about steep climbs. You can see breaking through the trees here. You can see some of the apartment buildings. Reminds you that you're right in the middle of a mega city. And here's another climbing section. But yeah, it's like muddy steps. You just have to find the steps to put your feet. On this one, you don't. To be honest, even the other ones, you didn't really need the rope. I suspect, in a way, that the rope makes it more difficult because when you're holding on to the rope, you have a tendency to lean back and pull your weight against it. But when you let go of the rope, you lean forward, and it's a more natural position for your body to be climbing. So I think the rope, if you don't absolutely need it, it's probably better not to use it. I think it's more natural. Like right there, I grabbed the rope just for a second, and it threw me off balance. But yeah, there we are. And there's the section there. Yeah, I can't imagine what these people turned back from. Wait and see what lies ahead. So yeah, this is probably where the that couple turned back. In a way, it's kind of easier than the mud because the stone gives you a really solid foothold. But it does look more intimidating than the muddy trail. Yeah, again, I wonder about the rope, whether it's actually, like, mountaineers would be better suited to say what is best. But it just feels like the rope kind of throws you off balance in a way. Well, I'm still at the cliff section, the really steep, you have to climb straight up with the rope. And I met an experienced climber here.
No, experience, that's too much for me. I'm just a normal hiker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you introduce yourself to Planet Doug viewers?
Hi, I'm Jamel. I just live nearby in Setiawangsa.
Okay.
Just like 5 minutes drive away. So I'll be here every week. I've got nothing to do.
So you are pretty familiar with this park?
Yeah, because I've been here since they opened this trail.
Okay.
I don't say that I'm very expert about this trail, but of course, if you want to go look all the trails, I can bring you around.
Yeah, you were saying that you can get to the top following this orange one, goes straight up.
Yeah, straight to the viewpoint.
But there's another way.
There's another way, this one. It will go to the tarmac road. Yeah, this way.
So that's
a lot
easy.
easier.
That's easier.
Yeah, that's easier.
The blue goes all the way to the top,
Yeah.
or you have to change?
No. You will reach the Tamex roads, and then from Tamex road you have to walk like 20 minutes to the
Oh,
top.
okay.
But it's nothing there. It's just a telecom communication what you call center. Then from there there's another trail. You can go down. There's two trails actually. You can go to one to See See View. The other one is called Viewpoint Setiawangsa.
I see.
Yeah. But if you pass this trail, you will go there. You
Okay.
just follow me.
You've done this one before.
No, every weekend.
Okay. So
Every
you've
weekend.
even done mini Tahan.
Yeah, I done mini tahan, but that, like 3 times. It's too hot.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
There's no winds or anything. That's too hot.
Yeah. I see.
But you prepare for training. If you are planning to go mountains for training, yeah, of course, that's the place, the right place.
How old is this park? How old are the trails?
This trail is like after the COVID, you know. COVID, how old? How many years already? 3 years? 4 years?
3?
Yeah, something like that.
That's also before the
Before just
pandemic.
only they have a trail but for mountain bike only.
Oh,
So there's a group, they saw that the hikers need a trail for them because sometimes we just use the mountain bike trail.
I see.
Then they're doing bicycle anything, they get so mad, you know, because sometimes they go down very fast, you know, so
Right.
it's quite dangerous. So
Yeah.
there's a people, of course, lead by Kazumi to open this trail. Start from one trail, then now we have like a few trails.
Okay. So Kazumi Trail was the first.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the first, I think.
Okay.
Then after that, they expand to another trails.
And Kazumi is the name of a woman.
Yeah, one name of the woman.
Have you ever met Kazumi?
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Yeah?
I always met him.
Okay.
He's always around because sometimes he check the trail also if there's fallen trees or branch. Then they do maintenance of the trail. There's a group actually.
Okay.
There's a group called Friends of Bukit Dinding. This is an organized group.
So volunteer? Was it volunteer?
Yeah, volunteer. They call it NGO.
Like trail maintenance is all volunteer?
Yeah, all volunteer.
No government funding?
No, nothing. Except some people who do the, what you call, sponsor.
I see.
Sponsorship. Provide like for this trail. You need the, what do you call this one? I forgot the name. The
ropes?
Yeah, the ropes.
The ropes?
The
Yeah,
rope,
okay.
Yeah, the ropes, the bench. You will see there's a bench over there later.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess somebody has to pay for the rope
of
and
course.
put it there,
Yeah.
maintain it. Yeah. Huh, interesting. All right. Thank you very much, Jamel.
Yeah, Jamel.
Jamel, nice to meet you. And well, the crowds have gone up. I'm here by myself, and I guess it's my turn to conquer the first cliff. Yeah, heading up there. So yeah, to start, yeah, just handholds, I guess. Yeah, I can feel this rock here. You can see how loose that is. This is kind of like the nature of the rock here, I guess, can be quite, yeah, it can break apart. But yeah, if you don't mind getting your hands a bit muddy and dirty, I think going without the rope is the better option. Just keep your hands forward and you can grab the rope if you need it. Yeah, it serves as a good handhold, you know, to pull you up one step. So now I'm up at the top of this section here. Pretty slippery here, I have to say. Not so bad. Muddy hands. According to my guide, Jamel, there are more steep sections ahead, though this would I think would fall under that category right here. It's pretty steep. Yeah, no joke. This little Kazumi trail, no joke at all. Wow, check this out. Look at that, that vine going up and up and up. Yeah, look at the size of it compared to my hands. Oh, that is. And it goes way up there. You can see where I'm shaking it. Wow. Tarzan would be pleased with that. Stopped at another small platform where a couple of trails intersect, but yeah, they're all blocked off, so that direction can't go, and this direction has also got a sort of telling you don't go that way. The Kazumi trail, well marked, going straight up ahead. But as I was standing here, there were some people going up and down, so I'm letting them go ahead. It just strikes me as just how humid it is here. Just, I mean, I'm drenched in sweat. All of my glasses, my cameras, everything's covered in moisture. And I happen to lean against a tree. Let's see if it happens again. You know, you give any of these trees a shake. It's like a rainstorm. They're all wet from the rain. What about this one right here? Very wet up here, and let me tell you, very, very wet. But yeah, so trail is continuing on up that direction. Starting to see something breaking through the trees, so we're getting near the top. Yeah, this is me sweating. So yeah, I think for a lot of people, including me, this trail is a lot more challenging than I expected. I thought there'd be some up and downs a little bit, but this is much more technical than I expected. Yeah, I mean, check this out. This is the next part right here. And I mean, it's not that high or anything, but I mean, with these conditions, that's slippery mud. Yeah, you really have to hold on to that rope and go backwards. Yeah, it's like a little bit of a bottleneck. It's like getting to the peak of Everest, where all the climbers get clogged. Oh, the Hillary Step, right? That's where everybody gets stuck on Mount Everest, the Hillary Step. Very slow to get up that, and yeah, so, whoa. Yeah, she's going down forward, which probably isn't the best technique. Yeah, I guess, yeah, if you just sit on your butt and you can slide. But yeah, I'm definitely rappelling down backwards. Yeah, she made it. Yeah, I think that couple that turned around, they probably had the right idea for them. This might have been a bit too much, more than they bargained for. So, yeah, my turn to attempt this. And yeah, I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna go down backwards. Whoops. Yeah, it is really, really steep. Yeah, and you need these knots too, just in order to hold on to the rope, unless you've got a really good grip. Yeah, that's the most.
You sure you want to climb up?
I do.
Right.
I didn't realize quite how steep it was. I thought it would be easier. If you can do it easily, sure. Okay. That would save me some trouble. You can film.
Challenging.
Yeah, it's still recording.
Right. I will be in your channel.
Let me get out of your way here. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. You can put it in your knapsack if you want. Just so it'll be easier. If you push the button on the top, that stops recording. But you can keep recording now. All right, well that was something. Yeah, a little dangerous. I wouldn't recommend it to too many people unless they know what they're doing.
The beginner is not friendly.
Yeah. Ah, good idea.
Yeah, nice. It's cool.
If you want to remember, you can stick that in your pocket or your knapsack.
Oh, yeah, of course. I will subscribe.
I'm very lucky he offered to.
Yeah.
So the climb begins again. We're heading back up, I think, to an intersection with the asphalt road and the other trails and the lookout point. Heading there. Luckily, yeah, the big sign, Kazoo Trail. And at first I was a little bit confused because it just says Kazoo Trail. And I thought, okay, is it that way or is it that way? Because there's kind of a trail there as well. But then there's a little arrow up here. This is where we need to go. And here's the climb. So, is this a rope or a no rope climb? Yeah, feels like a no rope climb. Am I on video? Yeah, you can. If I slip and fall, you have video of me slipping and falling. Ooh. Ooh. So how are you doing? Okay? Did you know the trail would be so difficult?
First time.
First time, yeah. Yeah, it's difficult. I need to catch my breath.
Yeah, sure.
Morning.
Good morning. Yeah, she just powered her way up the entire cliff. You went all in one. You never stopped from the bottom all the way to the top. Very strong.
Still young.
Still young, yeah.
Still strong. Okay.
Feels a little bit like this is the hot new trail in Kuala Lumpur. So many people here. Surprisingly, still walking along. I thought this trail was much shorter than it has turned out to be. Pleasantly so, much longer. The climb was quite a long ways behind me, and the trail has essentially been skirting the edge of Bukit Dinding, like going all the way around it, curving and winding along in some really beautiful areas like this here. A little bit of a deadfall. I always like the mushrooms. Yeah, for quite a long time now, at least it feels like a long time, the trail has been like this. Just walking along the edge of Bukit Dinding, the hill, Dinding Hill. And I imagine we're going to get a viewpoint at somewhere up ahead. That is our reward, on top of all the rewards along the way. And look, a lookout point. Looking out over, I think, Setiawangsa, if I understand where we are. Yay! I was starting to worry, was I going to make it or not? And there's the view of the city. Wow. Yeah, so we are looking out over the edges of the city. Setiawangsa mountain range right out there. And those cliffs in between the buildings over there, I bet you they're something special. I don't know what they are though. And some enterprising people brought up cold drinks and snacks and things like that. Yeah, you definitely need water for this hike. So, yeah, I have some, luckily. I already drank most of it. But yeah, if you don't have water, you'll be very happy to see that they have some here for you. Oh, and they even have touch and go. Do it now. So, to recap, yeah, we're here, Decini, and that's all we did, that little orange line. Feels like we went a lot further than that. Look at that, it seems like such a tiny distance. And here's where we are. And I guess to go back, it'll all make sense. Follow number 4 to number 5, and then back down again. The lookout point is behind me there. There doesn't seem to be a perfectly obvious way of completing sort of a roundabout route to go back to where I entered. Still trying to figure that out, but from here, it feels like the obvious thing to do is to continue on. There's another lookout point, which they cleverly named KLCC. And it says here 3.2 kilometers to the peak. I don't know if that's true or not. I heard somebody explaining how, no, it's actually 1.6 from the entrance to here, and then 1.6 from here to the peak. So it's a total of 3.2, not from this point, but I'm not entirely sure, because I don't think it's 3.2 kilometers to the peak from here. But anyway, I think it makes sense for me to continue on. At least I'd like to see at least the KLCC view. This is seeming like the wise path to choose. I mean, the trail is beautiful. Look at this. The sun has come out. It's getting very jungly. And we haven't been going up and down at all, which is nice. I kind of needed a break from that. And we've just been walking on a smooth, flat surface. A little bit muddy still. You got to still worry about your footing. But I ran into the man that I talked to at the cliff climbing spot. And he knows all about these trails. And he said that, yeah, if I go this way, I go to KLCC Viewpoint. And then from there, this trail goes up to the peak. And then that's the tarmac. You meet up with the tarmac at the peak. And then he says you follow the tarmac down, cross a mountain bike trail, and then there's a blue trail. Turn left onto the blue trail, and that will take me back to my starting point. So that's pretty much what I wanted to do. So I just wasn't sure how it all fit together. I thought I would have to go back to where I just was, the Setiawangsa Viewpoint, but no. So yeah, we're on the right trail. So I don't know if this is the viewpoint, the official KLCC viewpoint or not, but you certainly see it. I had no idea that view was opening up behind me. There you go. Petronas Towers, TRX, KL Tower, Merdeka 118. Yeah, that was really nice. I was sort of expecting the KLCC viewpoint to have a big set of tables and maps and like a more developed place, but it's really just an opening in the field. I didn't even know I was at the KLCC viewpoint until I sort of looked off to my left. I was like, oh, there's Kuala Lumpur. So it was like, oh, this must be the viewpoint. And now we're on our way to the peak, the final stop before turning around and making my way back to the entrance. Yeah, it's very necessary to have all of these pink signs telling you where to go, because otherwise there's quite a number of trails up here. You could easily go in the wrong direction, or you just wouldn't know which way to go. So the Friends of Bukit Dinding Society are doing a nice job keeping all of this marked for people. Though I don't know whether you can actually see anything from here. I don't think there's actually a viewpoint. It's just the highest point, I guess. There it is. Bukit Dinding. Yeah, a little hike like this gives you a healthy respect for gravity, because that number doesn't look that scary. 291 meters altitude. It's next to nothing, right? And yet when you walk all the way up here, well, you feel it. You feel every one of those meters. Yeah. And then we've got the towers up here. The antenna towers. Oh, there's a macaque. Hey there, buddy. I thought there'd be dozens and dozens of them here. So, got one over there. I don't know anything about it. I hear some machines running, so I guess it's still in service. They're doing something. And then there's another one over here. Much taller one, I think. Yeah, just behind the trees there. And yeah, quite a motley assortment of dogs over there. Hey there, puppies. Yeah, so this is Bukit Dinding. So they do have a map here at the very top. This is where we are, the peak, and di sini. And according to my guide, the man who was helping me out, I can follow the tarmac down, and then here somehow hop across to number 5, and then take 5 back to here. And then I don't have to go all the way back around. So that's what I'm going to try to do. And I just noticed they have topographical lines here, which really helps you understand. So here, for example, on the orange, when you're going down here, you can see the lines are very close together. So it's very, very steep. Here too, a very steep climb, steep descent, steep climb. And then here, if you went down there, you can see how steep that is. And then over here, more gradual. So yeah, it actually has topographical lines there. It can help you out understanding it. So off we go. So I found my macaques. There's like 5 of them here that I've seen so far. These trees right here are full of them. And it kind of makes sense. They're more by the road than the trails, because here on the road, I think people would be more inclined to feed them. You're not supposed to. They have signs here saying, you know, don't feed the wildlife, of course. But near the road, I think they have a better chance of getting food. So that's why they hang out here. Yeah, and just a few seconds ago, it's already been cleared away, but I was walking right here, and then I got to this point and I saw the macaques, so I stopped and I looked up, and then one of the macaques was on a tree, and a very heavy branch snapped off and just went thundering down right where I was standing. So I was like just seconds away from being clogged on the head by quite a large branch. So this is the intersection of all the different trails. There's the asphalt and hiking behind me, and then here are a couple of mountain biking trails. So suddenly you start to see sponsors. It's kind of funny, you know, because they have big events here. And man, can you imagine going down this hill on your mountain bike? Look at that. That would be something else, a bumpy ride. But yeah, so they say here, no hikers. They keep them quite separate. So some of the trails are for hiking, some are for mountain biking, and they're completely separate. So for safety reasons, hikers are advised not to enter this trail. And then this is another mountain bike trail down there. But I think for me to get back right over here, I thought I had to walk quite a distance, but the blue trail is right here, number 5. hike update. We are going down pretty steadily. And yeah, I have no idea if this trail goes down and up and that sort of thing, or whether we just keep going down all the way. I'm not sure. We will find out. Yeah, I'm going very slowly. I have to be very sure of my my footing on this. Going down, it's pretty slippery. Ah, another strap. Losing my balance here. What's going on back here? Oh, there's a tree in my way. That's why. Yeah, this Bukit Dinding is throwing a couple of challenges our way to end the hike. Wow, it's so steep. Ah. Yeah. So it's not just me falling down. Well, that's a little bit. Oddly enough, so far this has turned out to be the most challenging section because it is steep and slippery, but there are very few ropes here on this particular section. And you're going down. That's the difference, of course. If you're going up, it's not nearly as challenging, but going down like this, your feet want to slide out from under you. All right. Oh boy, look at this. So I got a tree over there I can grab. And then a strap so I can turn around. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, looking ahead there you can see it's a beautiful trail. Feels very jungly, and I think we're getting near the spot that joins up with Kazumi Trail number 1, or Kazumi Otai, I think it's called. I think we're probably going to meet up with it where the cliff is, the actual rock cliff. So I was right. It's all making sense to me now. This is where the Kazumi Trail, the orange one, goes up the cliff. So if you wanted to go the difficult way, you go that way. And if you wanted to go the easier way, you can go off in this direction. You still have to climb just as much of altitude, but you don't go up and then down and then back up again, and you don't have nearly as many climbs. So this is the senior citizens route heading that direction, and this would be the youngsters. You begin your climb right there. But yeah, now it's they're whoa, man down. Can't take your eye off this trail for a second. So yeah, let's go. My turn. Yeah. Decided to do it the slow and steady way, backwards all the way down. Yeah, that was no cakewalk. Whew. Again, I keep talking about it, but the main difficulty today is the mud. It's slippery. On a normal day, if everything is dry, then it wouldn't nearly be as challenging. But yeah, today it's, yeah, you gotta take it slow and easy. Last 2 sections here, a short rope and then a longer one. Right here though, these steps coming up were fine. Oh, there's a little rope here. I just noticed it. Okay. So I can turn around and go backwards. No slipping. All right, this is pretty easy going. I can go forward. Still holding the rope though. And here comes an expert. Look at the speed. He knows what he's doing. I better get out of his way. Yeah, he's probably timing his run. Well done.
Yes, good.
You came down like an expert.
Yes, but very hot.
Whew. Oh. Time to see if I can get some mud off these sandals. They are caked. Yeah, I need a brush. Get into the treads. Otherwise, I'm going to be tracking dirt and mud all over the place. Whew. Ah. Yeah. So, to be honest, I think that is the end of the hike. It's just a short distance here back to the trailhead. And I figure I might as well end it right here, a more scenic spot than being back out on the road. And then I'm just walking back to the LRT. Don't need to get that on video, now do I? Yeah, that was quite the little adventure. Enjoyed that a lot. Far more physically challenging than I expected. Yeah, very much so. So, but yeah, very, very, very interesting and very enjoyable walk around there. That was very cool. So, end of the video, and as always, don't forget about the Planet Doug Patreon. Head over there, patreon.com, type Planet Doug into the search bar. It'll pop up. If you were a member of the Planet Doug Patreon, you would probably know that I was coming here today, because on my way here I was posting updates to Patreon. That's kind of how I'm using the Patreon. At least one of the ways I'm using it is to post things in real time. A video like this is going to take a couple of days to edit and post, but so by the time you see this video, it's already happened. But if you keep an eye on the Planet Doug Patreon, well, then you're aware of things as they happen. And I've been keeping my phone running with the Relive app. So the Relive video map of this trip is going to be up on the Planet Doug Patreon as well. So yeah, head over there. There's a free membership. Keeps you up to date with all of the updates. And if you want to support the channel, there are some paid tiers for that and get extra benefits for that. So yeah, I'll see you on the Planet Doug Patreon. And as always, here on Planet Doug, I'll see you in the next video.